All right, 97.1. It is 3 o'clock on a Monday. We're doing it a little different. Lions, obviously, are going to be your mainstay. But I want to at least mix Michigan in. They have put two elite performances together. I know if you're a Michigan fan and you were a little concerned, like I told you, if you don't play anybody, then it's all about how you play. Well, you didn't play well the first month of the season. But now, last 2 weeks, you've exerted dominance. And that performance Saturday was virtuoso. That's what a Bama does. That's what a Georgia does. Mm-hmm. That's what an elite team does. Again, now this week you play Indiana. I mean, it's just, it really is disappointing. This is what the schedule is because you want data points against meaningful opponents. But in light of that, at least you're playing better football. I'd like to know where you're at with it. For the Lions, the Mosley news is the lone bummer. Outside of that, and J-Mo stinks. But the Mosley news sucks. He's your best corner. Played 2 plays. Blows out an ACL.
Which normally happens when you come back from one ACL, you put too much stress on the other, and done. Yeah.
It sucks. But they've got the ability. I would like to see them in the market as buyers. I think they have, week by week, earned the right to be in that marketplace. And I'm not telling you magic bullets out there. I'm not talking about a star. But if there's a corner you like for depth purposes that can give you an option to Jerry Jacobs, interception aside, I think you're gonna have to be in the market. You got to go all in here.
And I don't even know what the contract details were, but I was a little disappointed that they didn't make a play to go get Randy Gregory last week.
Well,
I mean, even if you can cut him at the end of the year,
Broncos
he's only
are paying
good
for most of it, I believe, because they signed him for a $70 million tag.
Right.
I think they're paying a majority of it. I would have to look it up. By the way, another con artist. This Sean Payton is something else.
But, yeah, I mean, you could have added to your defensive depth, brought him in. If he didn't work out, you could jettison him.
Yeah, I'd like to see a move. Yeah. I think they're earning that right. Let's go to Will, 97.1. Hey, Will, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, absolutely. What's up?
Hey, I got 15-2, man.
Whoa.
They lose one more game, maybe either to the Chargers or the Broncos.
All right, listen. If you show me
Broncos?
If you show me 7-1 at the bye, I'd be willing to entertain something dreamy like that. But they got 3 of the next 4 on the road. I can't go there yet.
Understandable, man. I believe it was that Kool-Aid my wife gave me that last drop.
That's okay. Hey, listen, Will, you got every right to have a good time with it, to dream a little bit. But I wouldn't predict the Niners to only lose 2 games. I wouldn't predict the Eagles to only lose. I can't do that in today's day and age. It's too hard.
But I look at the schedule, and Will's not that far off, Will. I question the Broncos.
Hey, mark it down. Mark it down.
Okay.
Will, Garden City, 15-2. I'll call you back.
That's what we'll be here.
Yeah, at 15-2, you're the number 1 overall seed, or you're tied.
If they win 2 of the next 3 before the bye, I'll upgrade you to 11-5.
15-2, good chances.
Excuse me, 12-5.
Good chances. No, I'm saying according to Will, you got a bye week.
Do you know what's got a better chance of happening than Will's 15-2?
What's that?
What started out as sarcasm, but now I totally believe it. Those games against Minnesota aren't going to mean anything. This division's going to be wrapped up with 3 weeks to go.
No, I think that is true.
Wrap it up, David.
But
not something you're good at with all the kids. But my point would be, wrap it up, kids.
In my grand scheme, Minnesota, I think you still split with them.
Wrap it.
That's one of the games that I'm looking at that you'll probably split one.
But
yeah, the division.
Wrap.
You may be right. Come Thanksgiving, you defeat the Packers, and the rest is just academic.
Hey, do what State did all those years ago. Have the banner rolled up. Minute the game's over at Thanksgiving, unfurl it.
Well, that didn't work out too well.
Mistakes for me. Let's go over to Chris, 97.1. Wasn't it against Purdue? Chris, what's up?
Wisconsin.
How are you guys doing this afternoon?
Good, Chris. What's up?
Well, I have something to say about the record that Rico may agree with, but may not. But I do want to make a comment. Yesterday really sealed at the end of the game for me that this is a different Lions team because we can go in and handle business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wrapped it up clean with a bow. And I've never seen that. have
Chris?
been watching for most of my life now.
I know it's
So that was
different,
good.
but Chris, it's a different team. That's why I was offering BOGO coupons to anybody who wanted them, because you were that much better than Carolina, and you showed it.
And I believed you when you said it. It was great. So my record statement,
Yeah, let's hear it.
the way I see it, the only teams you could chalk up to potential losses for me are the Ravens, Chargers, Saints, and the Cowboys at the end of the season. So that would put you at about 12-5. Barring any injuries, best case scenario, I do think we're better than most, if not all, of the teams we played the rest of the season. We could very well be 16-1, but I'd have a lot of Kool-Aid along the way.
You know what, Chris? No, I think that's, to me, is I was looking at that 12-5. I probably would swap out the Bucs with the Ravens, because I think the Ravens are coming back from London that week that they're going to be playing the Lions.
Ooh, didn't know that. That's a good point.
And I would swap out New Orleans for probably the game at Minnesota. But other than that, I totally agree with you.
Look, the next 4 games hold the key to the dream sequence. 3 of them are on the road. All 3 of them are losable on the road. I don't think anybody would sit here and be mad losing to the Bucs, Ravens, or Chargers. Now, obviously, it's a major problem. You lose to all 3 or even 2 of the 3. If you want to dream, you got to win 3 of the next 4. That's the
Chargers.
dream.
And for the Chargers, you know what, guys? I know we got the bye week, but we're going to leave to go to L.A. a little bit early. We're going to get acclimated to the time so that we're not traveling from East Coast to West Coast too late in the week.
David, we have not checked in with Ticket Text, which is on me. So do you want to read a few of those here as we kind of continue a football Monday?
Yeah, you were talking about bench players or starters being bench players. It says, to your point, Marvin Jones used to be a starter.
That's right.
Now he's a third stringer. Ron in Ann Arbor.
I'm glad he showed up yesterday.
Barring any key injuries, I think 13-4 is very possible for this team. At worst, we go 12-5, someone says, with losses against the Ravens, Chargers, Saints, and Cowboys. At absolute best, we went out and go 16-1.
Take it easy.
Ooh, boy.
Come on, guys. Take it easy.
Laporta, dollar for dollar, is the best player in the NFL.
Oh, hold on. All right, we're losing it.
Someone says you want to make a trade. Isn't it time for the Lions to go get Chase Young already?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Listen, it's not about stars necessarily, but if there are tactical ways you can make yourself better, I want the Lions being in that conversation as we head towards the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say it. I am Rico. I didn't expect much. JMO's got a couple of weeks, but what I'm not going to do is slow this train down for him. Anytime they force him the ball, I think they're taking it away from people. Like, look, you know, right now who's an unsung hero of this team is Josh Reynolds. Mm-hmm. Josh Reynolds is a professional. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's going to block. He's reliable. I mean, he had a beautiful catch this weekend, but Jared Goff has a trust with Josh Reynolds. Mm-hmm. He will be where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, and he'll even catch the stuff that maybe I didn't do a good job on. Do you know what he doesn't have with JMO? Any of that. Mm-hmm. When you are inserting, look, JMO right now for me is no better than their 4th wide receiver. He has to earn his way back, and you don't do it by dropping. Here we go. People are going to be upset. He dropped that pass over the middle because he didn't want to get hit. Oh, easy for you to say, radio guy. Well, you know what? I don't get paid to play football.
Go back to New York.
Thank you. Where I would say the same thing. He saw that middle linebacker out of the corner of his eye, and he got alligator arms. I'm sorry, but if you want to endear yourself to this team.
No, you know what's funny is, and we haven't even talked about this, but the whole time I'm thinking at the end of the game, if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm running up the tunnel, I see the Carolina GM and say, hey, we can pack up JMO right now. He can reunite with his quarterback. Make me an offer. Make me an offer right here, right now.
I'm not ready to give up on him, but that was not a good return. It's not.
You know what good teams do? They realize when it's time to cut their losses.
Yeah, but he can still give a lot to this team, and I'll give him more chances. I'm saying on surface.
But if you wait too long, now you're stuck with him.
David, what do you want to do with that remark? He's taking it to a different place. I'm just talking about his return.
You know what? Let's stay positive.
No, I mean, you're in a wide receiver room that's built on toughness.
Yeah,
Marvin
exactly.
Jones is tough. Amon-Ra is tough. Josh Reynolds is tough. You cannot walk into that room and alligator arm a ball the way he did. You can't.
The problem is everything that he does is going to be under a microscope, but he put himself in this situation. You got to have that come to Jesus moment.
Okay.
Is this guy
You want a
our
comparative?
guy?
Let me give you a comparative. So in New York, Kayvon Thibodeau has 4 sacks. Giants have 5 total. He has 4 of them. All right, now on surface, you'd go, well, 4 sacks. We're at the quarter pole. Wow, he's having a really good year. You want to talk about being under a microscope? His body language sucks. He didn't celebrate his sack. He had a forced fumble. He had a recovery yesterday. And I'm going, what is going on here? That's what happens when you're a high-profile pick in a big town, on the big stage. Everything is analyzed.
I was about to say, but maybe he's just pulling the Barry Sanders and
Nah,
not just
that's
hand
not
the
him.
ball to the ref.
That's not him.
I'm not going to hot dog it.
He's the same guy who celebrated next to a dead quarterback last year doing snow angels. He's not the same guy this year. Something's going on.
You guys broke him.
May have, like Danny Dimes' neck. Weird what happens when you get a quarterback sacked 28 times in your first 5 weeks. 28. Another 7 yesterday. Only 6 of them against Jones because number 6 broke his neck.
Everybody can't be Eli, Mike.
No, everybody can't be Purdy in that privileged life he lives.
All the man does is win.
97-1.